does well. He knew he hadn't done well with the initial header. Gives an apology, but had read the situation there. Didn't rush into challenge for the second header and won the second ball. Lovely ball down the line. Maswanganyi has a quick look. Pokes it. Bad evidence. Makopa not at the near post. Now there's a chance for Uganda to get him behind if he can catch this. Did so, but Dennis Omeda, I think if he'd kept it, he would have had to have taken out the linesman. Well, it was his absolute rocket in the reverse fixture. They got Uganda level at South Africa. An unforgettable strike that seemed to ignite this run to the Afcon ahead of South Africa, who would have been, on paper, the favourites to win the group. This coming after Uganda had suffered painful defeat, although no shame in a 2-1 loss to Algeria in World Cup qualifying. Just frustration in that they had led 1-0, but before falling to a 2-1 defeat thanks to goals by Arwa and Berrama. But it's a very tight Group G as Uganda try and get to a first ever World Cup finals. There is just 3 points between 5 nations. Algeria, Mozambique, both on 9 points, with Botswana, Guinea and Uganda tied on 6 with Somalia, pointless. South Africa, of course, desperate themselves to return to the world stage. They failed to manage what's now creeping on an awful long time. Of course, hosts in 2010, the first African World Cup. But since then, real frustration having not qualified since. 3 have passed without their participation. Desperate for that 4th event on the world stage, but it's Uganda. Driving run. Maudo, though, full of pace and poise. Didn't dive in too early. Made sure he got there first. Ronan Williams, one of the first to congratulate him. Dynamic running, though, from Roger Mato. Real pace if you're going to fly past Bafana Bafana fullback. 21-year-old Arua native who had a spell, short one in Turkey before, hopefully finding a home in North Macedonia. Well, we've got 2 clumps here. The referee focused on the one inside the 6-yard box. Almeida pleads first and then bumps into his own player. A lot going on. The referee having to remain eagle-eyed. Short one taken, though. Oh, well, that was right on the edge. But no free kick or potential penalty, depending exactly where that foul happened. And yet now, referee saying the ball played. The challenge on Opolis. Happy to let the game rage on, the Chad Whistler. Showing not willing to just give free kicks for bodies hitting the deck. And a good reaction from the players. Shows he's, at this early stage, earned respect. Leroux. Rushwin Dortley, who's been the mainstay at the back. That is an absolute wonder of a ball. And it just bobbled in a way. Made it tough for Madao, who will certainly give away a free kick Not sure why he's surprised. South Africa continue to complain, but I think it's for the previous challenge on Opolis. He did well to keep it in, but by that point, Kayondo was able to make up the ground. So Uganda 2 points clear of South Africa in the group. Both yet to taste defeat. It's a long time though since Uganda last hosted South Africa. Back in qualifiers for the 2006 World Cup. A lone strike from Benny McCarthy, blast from the past, striking from the penalty spot for Bafana Bafana to snatch a 1-0 victory. It's a return to action in this latest international break. And always a momentous occasion to represent your country. On the move, Jude Sisem Mugabe. Tracked by Mudau. Here's Acho, who really came to prominence with Young Africans, a Confederation Cup runner-up. Heartbreak for the Tanzanian club that have risen back to be the dominant force despite their rival Simba having previously been trendsetter with titles and continental performances. Of course, the CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup returning. For now, Modiba just trying, and again, seeing the ball just reach away. Fast pitch. You have to be careful with the delivery. Omeda dropping deep to help out. Gets it back. Down the line. Dortley has to come across and takes no chances. Kenneth Semakula, another of the under-20 silver medalists from 2021's under-20 competition. And the club African fullback not on the same wavelength. That goes harmlessly behind for a goal kick. We're just past the 20-minute mark. Some enterprising play, but as yet, no chances of note. Always an interesting matchup. It can be that something's on the line. Qualification, and it can inhibit performances. And then there's playing when you know you've already qualified. Maybe just takes a little off your performance. Well, evidence. Makopa wanted a free kick, didn't get it, but then was smart in his physical pressure, which has managed to get a throw. And now Leroux, not fully intentionally, gives Mudau a route out. Vala. Ball deflected, there to be won, and Leroux does well. Excellent touch from Obas. Gets it back, it's a lovely exchange with Mudau. Just that final ball away and out. I think Morena felt he was fouled. Lovely interchange. South Africa at their flowing best. Just not the final touch. And a real worry this would be for South Africa. Mudau going down. He's got Ishmael Watenga for company. Watenga, who does ply his trade in South Africa with Golden Arrows, although not of late. 19 appearances last season, but he hasn't now played league football since May, but he's managed to keep his place with the Cranes. Paul Put maintaining the faith, as they certainly will in the Belgian. We will see then the Ugandan fans return to just live the experience of Africa Cup of Nations. It's not just about the football on the field, it's a chance for countries to send their representatives to other parts of Africa. What an exciting time for the Cranes. And of course, just 2 years later, Uganda, along with Kenya and Tanzania, will welcome the rest of Africa for the 2027 edition. Clipped forward by Mugabe. Modiba just had time to survey the situation. Good touch into Dortley now. Links with Apolis. South Africa playing their way out under pressure. Mudau seems to be okay. Gets a nudge there. And the free kick. Just cut across Mato. Number 7 couldn't help himself. It's the Bafana Bafana 7, who is the nominated set piece taker. Collection of assists already in this group. Can he do so again? Particular 5-0 thrasher of Congo. Set piece deliveries were fantastic. This one almost finding a route to goal. Morena at the near post, but his header neither an attempt on goal, nor did it fall into the path of a teammate. That's given away cheaply by Uganda. Lovely ball to Obas, but his poor touch allows Uganda to recover possession. Oh, lovely bit of skill from Simugabi. Couldn't keep his run going. And Uganda will recycle and start again. Mugabe dropping deep. Alan Okello, who played further forward against South Sudan. Drop back to make space for Sissy Mugabe. Deso Medi pushing up into the forward line. Nisibambi dropping out. Here's Apolis. Gets the overlap from Modiba. Plays it across. Oh, well. Important hands from Ishmael Watenga. But then he seemed to have lost it. Thankfully for the goalkeeper, he was able to gather again. We'll see this again. It's a really nice bit of play, but horrible defensively for Uganda, unable to track the run, making it a bit too easy. As the balls come across, it's his own player that clatters into him, but Morena brilliantly tracked by Kayondo in a way that Semakula did not on the other flank. So South Africa edging the match slightly, but nothing to show for it as Mugabe runs himself into trouble. Thankfully for him, Khalid Ocho, his captain, bailed him out. Now Uganda, can they use that? Well, the referee says the ball was played. Leroux then gives it away so cheaply. That infuriates his coach as Mokwana wins it. Now gets back on it, drives to the byline. They can't get the cross. They will get a corner, but it could have been oh so much more. Bafana Bafana turning up the pressure. Brilliant challenge here from Mokwana. Gets the break of the ball there, Magopa, because it returned to the winger, but a miss hit. And Kayondo, and his momentum, takes it behind for a corner. Gets the applause from Mato. They've made the trip. Certainly fabulously dressed for the occasion. Header at the near post. Certainly seen how difficult it can be to defend South African set pieces. If there had been a goal, they might have missed it, enjoying providing a colourful spectacle for our cameras. Always a carnival atmosphere inside the stadiums. So Uganda just looking for a bit of calm. They've just allowed easy turnover of possession. Interesting that Apollo seems to have moved centrally. And evidence Magopa appears to have been moved to the left. Wait to see if that is just a shift of position or a change of formation. Because at the moment, Luc Leroux, who started as the attacking midfielder behind Evidence Magopa, dropping a little bit deeper. It seems to be Obas and Mokoena who are pushing that little bit more advanced. Leroux can't get to the pass from Obas. But that's a cheap ball given away. Stepping forward, Mvabo. But the ball from Mvala doesn't stick with Magopa. The striker coming back to try and help out. Well, he has done so somewhat, not fully intentionally, but seemed to just put Rogers Mato off as Ronwen Williams starts a conversation with the centre backs. Well, the pace of Mato certainly causing a problem, but just a loose touch, making it easier for Obas, who was back covering. Rotation in midfield sees Mokoena now drop deep. Plays it forward, and Opolis does well to protect the ball. South Africa trying to move it into the space. So goal is here after half an hour. Matchday 5 of the Afcon qualifiers. Both these teams already booked their tickets for Morocco 2025. Happy to just let that go behind Watenga. Player down, the referee just trying to calm the Cranes, who are suggesting there was an elbow used. It's all getting a little heated. Well, there's very little on first viewing coming together. To see again, well, he does make a movement. It's not full swinging arm, but it's certainly not nothing. And Bathusi Obas, possibly a very lucky boy. Down went Tadeo Lawanga. The two of them were nibbling at each other. The South African midfielder having the last word. Maybe lucky. The referee had his attention elsewhere. Certainly wouldn't imagine much more than a booking, but it is a kind of action, depending on interpretation, that could be upgraded to red. So maybe just leaving a bit of bad blood between the two. Certainly no such thing in the stands, as both sets of fans just absolutely loving the occasion. Certainly not easy to travel long distances with all the fantastic regalia. Well worth it. So back underway. Maybe a chance for tempers to just subside a little. Nacho getting a touch on that. It's well laid off by Magopa. Now on to Apolis. Nudges it into Albas. Apolis. Uganda doing well to press and push South Africa back. No doubt. Morena. Touch off Kayondo. Well, both teams trying to be positive. It's just not quite worked out just yet. We certainly saw in the first clash between these sides that can change very quickly. Oh, Makopa caught. The line's been bringing the referee's attention to it. A set piece opportunity just off the far touchline. Just knocked the ball back and then trod on. A good thing they got the free kick, because Roger Mato had just robbed Mudau. And now it's Watenga having to try and keep his defence on alert. Ball swung in, but that's far too easy for Watenga. Takes it at stomach height under no pressure, but his throw out. Well, they get a bit of fortune there. The way it bobbled, but then ball. Kayondo showing too much of it, but does at least get a throw. Uganda, certainly their players, very exciting in the way they want to carry the ball, commit players. Nacho drops a little bit deeper to get involved. Gabby makes sure he gets enough purchase on it. So 100 years of Ugandan football.